Well, it is sunscreen galore when you walk into a drugstore. So where do you start and how do you choose the right one? Here to walk us through it today, we have Dr. Dennis K. Dudley to tell us how to choose the right one. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you as well.
It can be very overwhelming. We walk in, there's so many to choose from. So the first tip you say is we need to focus on safety.
Yes, I mean, parents are like doctors. We tend to take a precautionary approach to our children. So safety first.
Okay.
Now, how do you determine safety in a sunscreen? It's actually quite simple.
Okay.
Because there are only two of all the filters that are used in today's sunscreens that are safe. Why are they safe? They don't get into your blood. The organic sunscreens, and there's the confusion. Organic doesn't mean safe. It just means carbon-based. And they're actually petrochemicals, so they're no different from the gas that goes in your car. And what really bothers me is that the first filter in that group of petrochemical organic filters that was developed in the 50s was actually developed to be a pesticide.
Okay.
So we know they have pesticidal properties. We know that they're potentially harmful. I'm not telling you I have absolute proof, but again, you're going to err on the side of caution. Now, the other group, every mother knows zinc oxide. It's diaper cream. So it's not just me saying, I've said for a decade that petrochemical filters are neither safe nor effective. It's quite clear to me they don't prevent skin cancer. The FDA has actually said that. 6 years ago, the FDA issued a really earth-shattering bulletin saying these 12 filters are neither safe nor effective. They did their own exhaustive review of 50 years of science. They didn't ban them. So they're still in most of the sunscreens, and many of your dermatologists just dole these things out.
Okay.
So stick to the filters that we know don't get into blood.
Okay, let's move on to our next topic, and you say, what do we want to look for? So tell us what to look for in the
Well,
sunscreen.
I say that zinc oxide is the ideal filter.
Okay.
You don't need 20 ideal filters, you need one ideal filter. Now there's another filter that is mineral called titanium dioxide. I don't actually use it or recommend it because it tends to be whitening, and it's a UVB filter. And part of the problem with the organic sunscreens, they primarily filter UVB. And we believe, my wife who's a dermatologist, that this may play a role in the rising skin cancer rates, and that people who are fair go out in the sun, put on these sunscreens, they actually add anti-inflammatory agents, which we'll talk about what to avoid, and you stay out longer, so you change your behavior, and you may actually be increasing your risk. So zinc oxide, every mother knows it's diaper cream, and it's now available. I have it on, you can't tell. So the idea that people of color cannot wear mineral sunscreens is not true. You can look for sunscreens that apply.
Okay, great tip. Now we're going to talk about what to avoid.
Well, obviously you're going to avoid the 12 petrochemical filters.
Okay.
But very often, even in a mineral sunscreen like zinc oxide, in the inactive ingredients, there are a lot of pernicious chemicals that I don't like. So in many of these sunscreens, they put salicylates. Butyl octyl salicylate, triticil salicylate, and that's there to prevent you going red. So it's very deceptive, and in fact the industry calls it boosters. They're boosting the SPF. Well, the SPF is a bit of a red herring. What matters is UVA protection, which has nothing to do with the SPF. It comes from the filters. That's why I tell you, look for the filters. Now the thing about zinc is it's insoluble. It sits on your skin. And the other common myth is that petrochemical sunscreens and zinc act differently. No, they're all chemicals. You did chemistry. One is inorganic, one is organic, but they're chemicals nevertheless. So stay away from buzzwords.
Okay.
Reef safe. There's no such thing. We don't know. What matters is, are they safe for humans?
Okay. Last point you want to say is who should be careful?
Well, everyone should be careful. And I tell people avoid the sun to the extent you can, but you do need sunlight. There's evidence from a British study that people who avoid the sun scrupulously have other health problems. So yes, wear a sunscreen, wear an effective sunscreen, and it's very easy. All you gotta do is look for zinc. Get as close to 20-25%, and you can find ones that apply clear.
Okay, and you want to show us how zinc
Yeah, I
does
don't
go
want you
clear.
to worry about brands. Just to destroy the myth. I'm dark. There's a untinted sunscreen. It rubs on quite clear even on my skin. It goes on
Right.
clear even on black skin.
Okay,
Put
and I
those on
have,
yours.
this is a
That
tinted
one's
version,
tinted, which I
which is-
like
I
because
like that for makeup
the
too.
tinted usually means iron oxide or
Okay.
other things that extend the coverage from UV into blue light, which is also very good.
And there's no odor to it as
No.
well. No. Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Where can people go for more information? You have a blog, you
I have a
said?
blog. It's called The Sunscreen Doc.
Okay.
The Sunscreen Doc. I don't blog a lot because there's a lot of blowback from industry and experts.
Yeah.
But it tells you the whole story. It's now in our food. So even people, he may not use a sunscreen, I bet you can find chemicals in his blood because it's in
Okay.
tap water,
Okay.
broccoli, fish.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today and helping us to find the right sunscreen for these summer months. We truly, really appreciate it. You can head to his blog, thesunscreendoc.com, for more information.